I'm gonna record it. I have
So
started the recording.
yeah, okay.
So here we are for our wellness gathering, focusing on the principles of core alignment, looking at the wonders of movement. And we're over halfway through our module this season. And we're going to be looking at the concept of gatekeepers. We were focusing on guards, our other people statements last week, and this week we are going to be focusing on the strong gatekeepers. So we're going to start with the question, and the question for today is, do you like to take the stairs? I'm going to let Dawn Marie in. An elevator or an escalator? So I will wait for Dawn Marie to arrive as she's coming in, and then we can restate the question. Tell us where you are, your name, and where you are, and then the question, which is, she's connecting. Let's give her a moment. There we go. Hi, Dawn Marie. Hello. All right. So the question for today is, do you like to take the stairs, an elevator, or an escalator? So my name is Lynn and I'm in Calgary, Alberta. And well, I'm always one for the stairs. I figure get as much as I can get in while I can. And sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't, but I usually opt for the stairs. How about you, Madeline?
I'm Madeline. I'm also in Calgary, Alberta, and I opt for the stairs generally um, when it's reasonable. Not the CN Tower,
Yeah.
say.
There you go. How about you, Olive?
My name's Olive. I'm in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and I take the stairs too. And like you said, Madeline, as long as it's reasonable, I think 6 stories would be about my limit. If it's more than 6, I'd take an elevator, but I'm a stairs person.
Awesome. How about you, Lorraine?
Okay, well, I'm not that agile now, so I probably, oh, I'm Lorraine. I'm in Owasso, British Columbia. I would take the elevator and or the escalator um, because I don't do stairs too well at the moment.
Yeah. How about you, Dawn Marie?
I'm Dawn Marie, and I'm from Sacramento, California. And my first thought is to take the elevator. I'll look around and see how far the steps are from where I have to go. But most of the time, it's the elevator.
Yeah. Awesome. Yes, going up and down. We can go on up and down stairs. We can go up and down in an elevator, or we can go up and down in an escalator. And if we're lucky, we can have one of those big ramps that are in airports that just go flat along the ground. So, yes. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be looking at getting really clear on the things that we say to protect ourselves. And the intention of our session is to assist us in hearing and recognizing the things that we say about ourselves that we use to protect ourselves. And we call those our gatekeepers. And we're going to attempt to recognize them as soon as they show up. So the question I'm going to start with is, what are some things that are important to you about the people in your life? So some of the things that are important to me about the people in my life. Well, I particularly like having fun with the people that are in my life. I like to, have light-hearted interactions and look at the brighter side of things. How about you, Madeline?
I would say that um, what I enjoy most, sorry,
just rephrase the question again. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I've
What are
lost
some
track of.
things that are important to you
Oh
about
yeah, okay,
people in your life?
okay. The important things that are important to me, or with the people in my life. I'm a bit of a scramble today. I'm so sorry. Is that they are willing. I think the willingness, it's not always about saying yes, because sometimes it's not possible, but that there is a feeling of willingness around the interchange, the interaction. So that kind of give and take is what is important to me.
Got it. How about you, Lorraine?
The things that are important to me with the people in my life, I think the fact that everybody I've met and interacted with left an impression on me, and I've learned from them. And even if it was a negative or not a good feeling thing, I think it was just that they just resonated in just developing how I feel, or the feeling I got from them, and the lessons I've learned from them.
Cool. How about you, Dawn Marie? Important about the people in your life?
Well, it has always been that I made myself available. Most of the time, I wouldn't say no. I would just try and make whatever their requests were available. And not that I'm a yes person only, but I just felt that I needed to be available to them. And here lately, I've started thinking that I don't need to be so available. It's okay to say no. And so that's where I'm trying to shift into, is being accessible when I can, but then on the other hand, being okay with saying, no, I'm sorry, I can't.
Got it. How about you, Olive?
Like the people in my life to be honest and upfront. I don't beat around the bush with me, just tell it like it is.
Got it. Got it. So what are some key values that you appreciate in others? I'm going to go the other way. I'll start with Lorraine. You're on this
What are
way.
the key values that I see in
That you
others?
appreciate in others.
I think I just appreciate their interaction and their willingness to engage. Because I think that is the being open and being there just to have a conversation, and telling me, I don't know that. I think just the engagement of it.
How about you, Madeline?
I think the understanding that that is needed for interactions with people, like to appreciate and understand where people are at, I think is really a valuable commodity. so that it's that respect and understanding, I think.
Yeah, totally. Olive?
You've been talking, I've been writing things down. I think the main characteristic I appreciate in people is honesty. And the other things I thought of were open-mindedness, to be open to new ideas and to other people's opinions, and flexibility to not, I like people that can change.
Cool, cool. How about you, Dawn Marie?
The thing that I really like about my circle of friends is their ability to execute a situation. One of the gals that is a really good friend of mine, she had the opportunity to be the facilitator of the mayor's inauguration, and she was so worried about that, but she executed it flawlessly. She got people in place, everyone was willing to support her. And so I appreciate that about folks who can maybe not know what they don't know, but still jump in there and get the job done.
Yeah. Yeah, so many things that, you know, that I value in others, like all these things I can resonate with, you know, interaction, engagement, understanding, honesty. And that, yeah, there's nothing like somebody that can just really get her done or take responsibility for something
Mhm. Yeah.
and make it happen. So what would you like people to do for you more often? Something to ponder. Madeline, what would you like people to do for you more
What
often?
I would like people to do for me more often is cook.
I think we talked about this before. I was going to cook and you were going to clean.
That's right. I'm great at dishes, but you know, I don't want to have to worry about like, what am I going to eat? Like, just surprise me. I like that. Just surprise me, and you do it.
How about you, Lorraine?
What I like to have people do for me is to pick up the phone and call me.
No. Awesome. How about you, Marie?
I would say the same thing with my family. I would like more of that. My friends, they do that, but my children, I would like for them to do that more often.
Got it. Got it. How about you, Olive?
Mm. This is a tough one for me because I like to do everything myself, which is not a good characteristic. So, yeah, I think I'd like, and I think I'd like people to just be spontaneous and just show up at my door and say, let's just go for coffee today, or let's just go for supper, or, you know, bring me a bouquet of flowers. Just, yeah, just surprise me.
Surprise. Yeah. I like surprises too. I think that's what I would like people to do for me more often, is surprise me.
Mhm.
And yeah. So what are some things people do to show you that they are there for you? I know that things that people do that show me that they're there for me is, well, they take interest in me and they ask, you know, how my day was, or you know, that kind of shows me. How about you, Marie?
I would have to say, I have one good friend who really calls and checks up on me, at least 2 or 3 times a week. How you doing? Do you need anything? And so I really appreciate that about her. But I also feel that, she got a dog. And when she got this dog, I feel like she traded me in. Slightest little thing that comes up with this dog is like, we have to cancel our plans.
Yeah. How about you?
I joke.
Yeah.
Lorraine?
What was the question
What are
exactly?
some things people do to show you that they're there for you?
Oh, well, what people do is phone me. I only know one person that does that.
You need to put
And
out
I
a
enjoy having
ringer.
somebody come and clean the house too.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Madeline?
Um, the way people, what I enjoy, the way people,
How they show you that
how
they're
they,
there for you.
yeah, show me that they're there for me. I think, yeah, just the attention and the, a quick text or a keeping up with, I think, on whatever level it is, whether it's through texting or a quick phone call. I think just tapping in, although I'm not great at responding. So I think it's when people are willing to are willing to do that to me and don't expect anything back. I think that's the
Got it.
happy side of things. They
Right.
they just keep doing it and I don't have to do anything.
There you go. Olive?
Yeah, I think it's when people call or text. And I'm like you, Madeline, I'm not one to have long conversations on the phone or, long texts. When somebody calls and wants to know how I am, if I'm good, I'm good. And if I'm not, I'm not. Just keep it brief.
Yeah. I'm kind of like that too. I like the reaching out and having, but then it's not good at the lengthy, especially texts.
Yeah.
Mm.
I have one friend who, I don't know
I
how
don't
she gets so
very
many
long.
words in like 30 seconds, and it takes me like hours to just get a sentence. So
And
anyways.
there's no punctuation anymore. And no capitalization. So you just, if it's
Yeah,
these text,
exactly.
sometimes just go on and on and on and on.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are some things that you ask for from other people that they tend not to hear or see you ask for?
Mm.
Mm.
This is a little trickier one. So things that I ask for from other people that they might not tend to hear or see me ask for. Sometimes I like to take personal space for myself. Like I'm very, I like being by myself. I quite enjoy it. And sometimes it's hard for me to either say that I want that, but they may or may not, specifically my kids. I mean, they'll for sure be right there where I don't want anyone else to be. So, but I think that's one thing for me. How about you, Marie?
So could you repeat the question?
Yeah. What are some things that you ask for from other people that they tend not to hear or see you ask for?
Yeah, that was it. I've been given an assignment to be an interim president for my Toastmasters club, and we had to vote for new officers. And I sent several emails, but no one read the emails. And I wish that they would have read the emails because that would have explained to them what they needed to do.
Got it.
Yeah,
Olive?
my Toastmasters club.
Olive?
I can totally relate to that, Dawn Marie, because I'm secretary for a couple groups and they expect me to send out minutes. Nobody ever reads the minutes. You just about have to, well, in the old days before emails, a secretary read the minutes at the meeting anyway. And I think that's what people expect you to do now, to just read back over any communications you've had with them because they don't bother.
Yeah. Lorraine?
I quite agree. I often send emails or Facebook comments or to people, and I don't think they even read them. And I think it's really a gap in communication. And all I need to say is thanks, or respond with
Yeah.
thanks. But there is certainly when I try to send a message to somebody, there are a few people that acknowledges it. Other than that, it just goes on deaf ears.
Yeah.
Natalie?
Agree with that.
I would say it has taken a while for people to understand that I don't want to be around I don't want to be around TV. I don't want to be around music. I want to have silence. And when other people are in the house, it's like not, I'm just not heard because they just go about their way. It's a lot easier now because there are fewer people in the house, and soon it'll be great because it'll only be Gordon and I. But there are moments where it's like, you don't get it. I don't want to be bombarded. And that's it.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally. So we're getting into some of these, these things so just consider like a conflict, like just a general conflict that you might have had in the past, you know, maybe in the past week, and what would be some of the things that you said to yourself during that conflict? So if you kind of go back in your last week and consider maybe just a general conflict, yeah. So tell us something that you said to yourself in that conflict, or maybe just give us a snippet of the conflict. And yeah, we'll start with Olive.
Well, the first thing that came to mind is I have a niece. She's had a brain injury 15 years ago, so she doesn't have the same filters that other people do, and she doesn't interpret things correctly. She died. She had her hair colored, and she had this red streak put in it, and I didn't say anything because I didn't like it. So the first time I saw her after she had this done, she said, "Auntie, you didn't say anything on Facebook about my hair. Everybody likes my hair." And I said, I don't like it. Yeah. And she said, "Well, why? Why don't you like it?" I said, "Well, looks like you have a chicken perched on your head." That was going too far. I should have just zipped it after I said I didn't like it. That was my conflict. I hurt her feelings, and I regretted that.
Got it. Got it. How about you, Dawn Marie?
I had made a decision to resign from a position that I was holding, and a situation came up, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to wait until the end of the month. I'm going to do it right now. But then I thought about it, and I thought, you know, I'm going to give them a couple of days. I'm not going to resign because I'm angry right now, but I'm going to resign in 2 days. And that's what I did. I
For a while.
And I said, you know what, effective today, I resign.
Madeline?
Well, it's funny because I can have an interchange with my husband that I can call him a nasty name and he'll laugh, or I can be triggered and call him a nasty name like asshole. and he'll take offense. And it's like, okay, like what's the difference here? I just don't even get it. However, we talk about it afterwards and it's usually okay. But so my first response is to be, give them the gears.
How about you, Lorraine?
Okay. Well, I can't recall a sharp conflict in the last little while, but generally speaking, if people are sort of moody and tired and or just non-responsive or not communicating, I just say, well, that's their problem, not mine.
Got it. Got it.
With age comes wisdom.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and it's
I'm
part of
not
it.
getting involved with their
Yeah.
idiosyncrasies.
Yeah.
Well, and what are some of the things that you say to yourself when those things happen? Because these are really are usually our strong gatekeeper statements, like, I always, or I never do this, or I should have done that, or, there's sort of usually big, strong I statements that come out. So what do you notice about those statements for you? Lorraine?
Well, in recent years, I've never taken responsibility of something that sort of was irritating to me at the time. I just turn it back, as I say, it's their problem, not mine. And when I've learned to say that, and I learned to say it years and years ago, and that has really gave me a good feeling, because it's not, I mean, I don't say I should have done or would have done and feel guilty about it. It just takes my guilt away. So I've learned to just say that it's their problem, not mine.
Got it. Got it. Olive?
Well, I think I said earlier in this session that I like honesty, and I can sometimes be too honest to the point of being sharp or rude. So I need to filter.
Mm, got it. Got it. Dawn Marie?
I think I need to speak up because I allow them to say what they need or say what they say. And then after I get off of the call, I'm like, why didn't I say what I really wanted to say? But I guess I'm so concerned about hurting their feelings or being, rude in the way that I would respond. And, when I worked, they would always say, you're so sharp with your response. And so now I'm trying to be, less responsive, but I feel like I really needed to let them know. And I
Yeah. Madeline?
I would say that it's generally when I'm triggered, when something really hits me, that I respond, and it is to be for self-preservation. So it is like, I don't need to be treated that way. And perhaps the trigger is, from my childhood. I don't know, like it just is. Like it's part of me. I understand it. I can look at it from more like a third person perspective now. Even though when I'm in it, I feel triggered. I feel like there is something going on, but I am not going to sit and just not respond. I'm gonna say something that makes me feel better at the time. So that's what I think that happens when that happens.
Got it. Yeah. Well, take a moment and think about how you can share what you need in a resourceful way when these things happen. And, what else might you say? Madeline?
I would say that I could be more softer, I guess, rather than the words don't really matter. It's how they are
Presented.
sent. And so that's why I say, we can have fun, and I can say the same thing, and knowing that it's a joke, or knowing that the tone of it is that I'm really calling him something bad. And so it is all in the presentation, right?
Mm,
So I think that is what is the moment of realization.
Lorraine?
Well, when I find myself in a conversation and what I express my opinion and the other person is off on doing something else, I just back down and let them go. Because I can't argue with people, or I can't debate with people that's the way it is, and I just walk away. That's how my defense mechanism. I'm not getting involved.
Got it. Got it. Dawn Marie? What else might you say?
I might just walk away and not say anything, but I still have to remind myself to not go over it and over it in my head. Be done with it when I say it, and be okay with the response that I do give.
Got it. Got it. Follow?
I just don't have the kind of personality where I'll back down. If I think I'm right, then I'm gonna argue that my point as I know it. On the other hand, there are times that I should just let it go. It's just, some things are just not worth fighting about.
Yeah. Well, the reason that we have conflicts, I'm going to read a little bit of what it says here. The reason we have conflicts is to gather and share information that we want someone to know. And if we are able to share the information clearly once, then we don't have to keep going over and over and over again like we tend to. So our strong and even mean and ugly gatekeepers come out during conflicts to protect us and to communicate. We tend to continue to create conflicts over and over again because we don't seem to be getting what we want. When we know how to recognize our gatekeepers, we can choose to use them resourcefully and get better results. So our intention for our time today was to look at the conflicts that we have and build an emotional response that will truly support us in our relationships and in our communicating with others. So what will you take with you from today that will support you until we talk again? Lorraine?
What I'll take away from what we, till we meet again, I think it's just the information and emphasizing, acknowledging responses to conflicts and feel good about the response and not dwell on it.
Marie?
What I will take away from this that will support me until we meet again is learning to recognize my gatekeeper. I don't know if it is like the intuition or that little voice that comes up in your head to give you a warning. And if I could just pay attention to that and follow it, I think I would be better off.
Olive?
I think it's to use a bit of discretion in how I deal with conflicts, to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, I guess. That's what
When
came to my
walk
head.
away, know when to run.
Yeah, Kenny Rogers is singing in my head.
Awesome. Madeline?
I think what I will take with me that will support me until we meet again is the reminder of the gatekeepers that they're there to aid us, that they are there to be helpful, and that it is our responsibility to understand that we have them and not be down on ourselves, because they are there as a help. So sometimes I can be down on myself for getting triggered and not responding the way I should, or in that particular moment feel like it's the should, but that, I'm just being honest about how I'm feeling. So I'm happy to have feelings, quite honestly.
Yeah, God. Lorraine?
Did I not answer the
Oh,
question?
did I get everybody?
Yes, you got me
Okay, cool.
before, because I'm trying to think of the next question.
Yeah, so what will you take with you that'll support you for the rest of your life?
I think just getting together and discussing it and bring it into our awareness about this topic. I mean, it's really growing. I mean, it's really worthwhile. So it's been terrific.
Yeah. Olive?
What I will take to support me for the rest of my life is to recall this at 3 a.m. when I'm trying to resolve a conflict that happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's a good time, because that's when the
Yeah, that's when your
gatekeepers are up.
brain
It's like,
thinks it
oh, I
has to
should've- yeah, it's
resolve
like
every conflict you've ever had in your life.
Madeline?
What I will take with me that will support me for the rest of my life, that we are, there's a moment where we remember and then we forget, and then we remember and then we forget, and it's okay to forget, because we will be reminded, and especially with conversations like this, it helps remind us. Yeah.
Yeah. Marie?
What I will take away from this that will support me for the rest of my life is recognizing that there are times when I need to speak up, and then there are times when I need to just walk away.
Well, what I take with me is this reminder of the language, hearing my words, hearing myself speak, hearing my mind, like hearing the words that are going through my mind that I'm not saying. And I'll often say that when I'm hearing, you say, my partner telling me a story of a conflict he's had, and I'll say to him, did you say that out loud, or did you just think it? Because there's two ways that I'm processing. There's the inside, and then there's, did I really say that, or did I just think it so strongly that it, you know, that it created itself? So this awareness around language, and part of these practices are based in neuro-linguistic practices and looking at language and how language really is so powerful, and it's subtle, and it comes unconsciously and it comes consciously. And so those guards and gatekeepers live in that unconscious realm as well as our conscious realm, and it brings it more forward when we have conversations like this, because we can have more awareness around the words and the language that we're using when we are either having conflicts or even just in everyday life. So that one went a little longer, but hey,
Mm.
what else
Okay.
is possible?
Okay, well, thank you, Lynn. I'm debating to unreclaim the host and see what happens to the recording.
Or I could stop the recording. Oh, there you go. You're the
Did
host
it-
now,
You're saying you're the host.
but now
So
I have
I'm,
to figure out
okay,
how to not
when I
record.
log out, hopefully the recording will be on my computer, not yours.
Okay,
Mhm.
well,